This year's nominees for the Game Awards Game of the Year are pretty stacked. Just about every one of these games has a good shot at winning, but 2023 has been such an incredible year for gaming that there are plenty of other games that could have been slotted in to replace any of these nominees. So let's look at some of the best games of 2023 that didn't get nominated for Game of the Year. Street Fighter VI is easily the best fighting game of the year, with its lovably goofy story mode and some of the most accessible gameplay that any fighting game has ever had. It's actually very surprising that this didn't get a Game of the Year nomination, considering how well it was received upon launch. Hell, I'd even argue that it's a better fighting game than Sifu. Final Fantasy XVI was the latest numbered installment of the long-running RPG franchise, and it was a huge departure from what the series usually offers, trading in traditional Final Fantasy gameplay for something akin to Devil May Cry. Hard to say why this one wasn't nominated. Maybe the gameplay diverted too much from what people wanted from a Final Fantasy, or maybe everyone just still has Game of Thrones fatigue, since this game's story is very Games of Thronesy. Last year, Elden Ring won Game of the Year, and this year's most notable Souls-likes, Lies of P and Star Wars Jedi Survivor, didn't receive a nod because they both lacked pot people. As for the developer of Elden Ring, From Software released Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon this year, and it's a very good game. But when it comes to Game of the Year, I guess people care more about riding a magic horse in a poison swamp than piloting a giant mech. Dave the Diver is currently receiving some flack for very much not being an indie game, but regardless of its independent status, it is a very fun game that gives you a lot to do. Like a lot. Like maybe too much, to be honest. Game of the Year nominee Resident Evil 4 is a phenomenal remake of a classic action horror game. But the year started off with another incredible action horror remake in Dead Space. The Dead Space franchise has been on ice since the failure of Dead Space 3, so having this game come out and somehow improve upon the original seems Game of the Year worthy to us. They even let Isaac talk in this one, come on. Nintendo got a lot of representation in the Game of the Year category, but there were plenty of other great Nintendo titles that came out this year that weren't so lucky. This includes titles like Fire Emblem Engage, the Super Mario RPG remake, which is just delightful, and Pikmin 4, because no matter how much Nintendo tries, nobody wants to give Pikmin any respect. Those poor little guys. In a depressing trend, Microsoft once again failed to have one of their games make it into the Game of the Year category, which is a shame because they released Hi-Fi Rush this year, and that was a whole lot of fun. Also surprisingly absent was Diablo 4, made by the now Microsoft-owned Activision Blizzard, which was hyped up to be one of the biggest games of 2023, and it's good, just not Game of the Year good, apparently. And if we're gonna talk about Microsoft exclusives, I suppose we have to include Starfield in the conversation because it's sure big. To be fair, Starfield did receive several good reviews from critics, and it does do the Bethesda formula quite well. So it's a good game, but it likely didn't make the cut for Game of the Year since, well, I was calling it Space Skyrim before it came out, and now that it's just out, it sure looks and feels like it's just Space Skyrim. And after such a long wait, I think we were all hoping for a little bit more than that. What game do you feel like should have been nominated for Game of the Year this year? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to check out thegamer.com for all your gaming needs. I'm Jamie Latour, and we'll see you next time.